I'll have to keep working on that, on both counts.
How's it going?
Hey Dora, what if hypothetically there were to be the dawning of another age at some point, and the gods then truly did leave mortals more or less alone? More than before.
What, are you making me some kind of offer here? I know you're a big deal lately, but not even you have the power to pull something like that off, Mel. Why would the gods give up their gig?
Even the gods are subject to the will of the three fates. None of us can entirely control what shall come to pass, and there are prophecies that cannot change no matter what.
You really believe that stuff, even after everything you did? I mean, was there really some kind of prophecy about Kronos and how you'd end up beating him eventually, once you realized your true potential thanks to me?
Well, no, because the fates went missing throughout most of this ordeal, but they don't tend to be mistaken.
Right. I'll believe it when it happens.
We shall meet again.
You found them. My sisters. They're all right. I was about to say thank the fates, but in this case, Princess, I can only say thank you. While you'd best not tell me how you did it, please do tell how it was to meet them finally.
It was an interesting conversation, and they seem to be doing well, that much I can say. And you're probably aware of the new major prophecy that they foretold.
The advent of another age. They notified me, yes. Perhaps it's their way of preventing any further attempts to circumvent their will, assuming this age does arrive.
What does this mean for you, though, Moros? I got the sense your sisters have no immediate plans to resume their customary weavings.
I think it means that mortals shall be having a reprieve from me, potentially for quite some time, and that I'll have to find something to do.
You could remain here with us, help tend the Crossroads, learn our craft.
I'd like that very much.
Same.
May I help you?
Where are you, Headmistress? Inspiration from the fates themselves. That's everything I need. O essences of chaos, heed my voice. In your potential, I have made my choice. So mote it be.
Blade. Heard you found the three fates. Don't believe that's how it happened. Probably weren't even looking. They found you.
That is a distinct possibility. Perhaps when Kronos thought he sent them into exile, they merely played along, and now decided to check in after the troubles with him passed.
Sure sounds like something they'd do, but no use speculating, right? And what now? We're all back to having no will of our own. Maybe we never did.
Perhaps they don't want us to be certain either way. Nor do they seem to desire all the credit for the actions we take.
Guess we'd better act like we have everything under control.
What else can we do?
You're up.
I take it you heard about the fates. Apparently everyone already has. Figured you'd be among the first. Though come to think of it, I've not heard you speak about them much.
It's because deep down, I've always felt we make our choices for ourselves. Admittedly, a controversial point of view, and we've strong evidence that those three often choose for us, but I have to heed my instincts on this one.
Wait, you don't believe in what they do? The prophecies, the coming of a new age? None of it?
I wouldn't go that far, but I choose to believe in those I know and trust, including members of your family. If that makes me a fool, then so be it.
So be it. Sounds like accepting fate to me.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Your Grace.
Hey, you.
Been hearing Shade say something's changing on Olympus. That the Fates themselves decided that the gods will soon be ruling with a lighter touch. That sounds different.
I think soon there may be relative to gods, not mortals, but what I've heard is much the same. At the dawn of the new age, mortals are to choose their paths themselves.
An age where neither the gods nor the Fates are dictating each moment of our lives or deaths. Hard to imagine. Who would we even blame if things went wrong then, eh?
You'll find someone, I'm sure.
She's here, now watch and learn.
Commander, what say all your disciples of the reappearance of the Fates? I take it you've already heard.
Ah, yes, I've heard all right. Fate schmates is what they say, if you must know.
Fates schmates? What is that supposed to mean? It sounds rather disrespectful on initial impression.
Disrespectful? Oh, far be that from me. I merely say fate schmates and ask that you consider the weight of my words.
You don't care that a new age may dawn, that the rule of gods may end.
Kiddo, I'll believe it when it happens. Well, probably I'll be dead by then.
I'm immortal and the rest of you already are dead.
Just saying, don't hold your breath.
This advent of another age your sisters have described, do you think it's possible Prometheus anticipated it? When I think back on things he said.
You're asking if the Titan of Foresight knew the Fates would eventually make this choice, before even they knew it. Perhaps the lot of them conspired to achieve a shared goal.
Lord Moros, I'm surprised you would even suggest such things. To have conspired against the gods, and Kronos for that matter.
I merely seek alternatives to the suggestion that my sisters may not be the first to know. So then Prometheus prevailed on behalf of mortals after all. Or shall, when comes this age.
To think that far ahead. Always wanted to ask this about the Fates, Lord Moros. Why the weaving? Of all the ways one could foretell what's to come, I mean, why not compose ballads, paint vases?
You'd think I'd know the answer, Princess, but it pains me to admit, I never once stopped to consider that. Weaving is just what they did. There aren't too many activities fit for exactly 3. Perhaps that's it.
It just seems like they could make their prophecies much faster if they chose a simpler craft.
Best not to give them any ideas.
I'll keep an eye.
Here comes trouble.
Moros was all giddy recently, at least for him. So you finally got a hold of his sisters, huh? You should feel lucky. They're my sisters too, and we've never even met.
I saw a bit of you in them, perhaps, Eris. If their past work is any indication, they seem to value spontaneity, making things up as they go.
So bizarre, right? I mean, why be like that when you could try and meticulously plan for every little detail in advance?
They're weavers. They do have to plan. That and spontaneity are not inherently opposed. Speaking of which, you must have heard they're planning an extended break.
Meaning we get to make things up as we go for a change.
We'll see how that turns out.
You got him.
This new age the Fates foretold, when they'll hand it over to mortals, by which I think they meant the big decisions. What say our shades about all that?
I've heard a mix of viewpoints, though they've been enthusiastic on the whole. Ungrateful wretches, We're only here by the grace of the gods.
It isn't always grace, I suppose. Many of these shades met an early demise due to acts of gods. They don't want to be pushed around.
There shall always be someone or something to push such people around. Whether it's a god or not hardly matters. The gods can have their moods, I know. But I'd not have gone far without them. That's why I'm here.
Nice of you to say.
I don't say, I swear.
You had an audience with the three Fades. Your incantation from so many nights ago must have taken effect. Hermes indicated they're in good spirits, but shall be continuing their leave. Well done drawing them out, nevertheless.
Thank you, Headmistress. I get the impression that they sought me more so than the other way around, but at least we know they're safe. They also mentioned you.
They did they? In what capacity?
They said you've... Well, is there someplace more private where we can discuss this, do you think?
Let's to the springs. You've earned the rest. And we can sit and talk about what's on your mind, and theirs.
Just right.
Ah, but that's not bad. So, what do the three Weaving Sisters know of me then, You were about to say.
They told me... I believe the phrase they used was you had pulled some strings. They didn't elaborate, but suggested I ask you about it.
Pulled strings. I know full well what they meant. But to this point, I was uncertain whether they did. Let me twist your question back. What do you suppose they implied?
I got the sense they felt that you had altered their designs somehow. Pulling strings, changing their weavings, and not in a small way either, but I merely guess.
You don't merely anything, Malinois. Well, if those three already know my past, you ought to know it too. And 'tis easier to explain, I suppose, if you look upon me as I am.
Headmistress, what? You're beautiful. But what is this? I don't understand. Some trick you're playing, or some glamour, or...
No. The trick is when the veil is on. Look upon me, and do not avert your eyes. I know those eyes better than you.
You're... How is this possible? Who are you?
When I was a mere babe, I washed up on the bank of the Cocytus, with naught but moonlight to guide me. Selene looked out for me, informed me that the Titan Kronos took my family, and that I alone escaped. Thus, I trained.
You trained for the task. Death to Kronos. You attempted all of that before I did.
Before is not entirely correct. I was a capable student, but very raw. Vengeance was my headmistress. And one night I found the wretch, spewed every curse that I knew, and descended into the abyss of his subconscious.
But I had you to teach me to descend to the abyss of the subconscious. You mean to say you figured it out entirely on your own? That's impossible.
Speaking from experience, I beg to differ. But at any rate, something did go awry. Time and nightmare fused, and I discovered I was someplace else. I sought the end of time, but had arrived somewhere closer to the beginning.
And then you lived for eons, waiting for the weavings of the fates and me for a second chance. Headmistress, Gods.
I dared not tamper with the Fates' designs more than was strictly needed. In this form, I ingratiated myself to your father and mother, became handmaiden to the Queen, in fact. Thus, when Kronos inevitably struck, they gave their newborn daughter not to the River Styx, but to me.
Then, you did everything in your power to prepare me, so that I might succeed where you failed.
Correct. 'Tis as I always told you, I am not your mother, Malinois. Neither did I have one myself. However, I had reason to be confident in your abilities. So, there you are. How you must hate me for all this.
No. How can you even say that still, Headmistress? I love you. And you are my mother, whether you can admit it or not. And even if we're far too much alike.
I love you too, of course, Elena, with all my heart and soul. Far more than I could ever love myself. And I am so sorry for all that you had to endure, for the family you never had.
But I have my family. I have you.
An Area soul must know of this. I trust you understand. The three fates, fine, and we and no one else. Now then, shall we pretend that none of this transpired?
I'll be discreet, of course, but won't pretend. You might not believe this, Arachne, but recently I met the Fates themselves. All three of them.
Oh, you did you? And did you happen to see what they were working on? I like to keep up with the latest happenings in the weaving world.
Well, if anything, I got the sense that they were in between projects and might be weaving less from here on out.
Sounds like they just couldn't keep up. But that's all right. The old always have to make way for the young and the new. And before you get too worried that I'm speaking out of turn, I don't think they'll notice little old me. Right away.
It's perfect.
I've been wondering what else the Fates had to say to you. To think that all those different strands they weave affect our lives.
My impression was they're going into a sort of retirement, leaving us to make our own decisions. I don't know if it'll feel any different than before, though.
I highly doubt it will. The kinds of choices that I've made. I don't know that anybody could have made them for me. Not even those three. You bet.
Immaculate.
Sesame and snail shells.
Evening, little pigs.
Oh, hello. Our Lady Hecate informs me of a marvelous development. You had a brush with the three fates. Scarce few are able to lay claim to that. Oh, did you happen to see their palms?
No, unfortunately, madam, as they were rather shrouded in the darkness where I encountered them. What do you make of this new prophecy of theirs?
What, that the times eventually shall change? Huh. I find it to be not their boldest prediction since you asked. Live long enough, and you shall see that times do not change so much as turn like a wheel. Then you shall have it.
They told me so themselves, figured I'd spread the word, being a messenger and all. And you know what? They're right. Sounds like their time away gave them a change of heart.
And we're off.
The fates are found. Such a relief our destinies are safely back in their hands. I was beginning to fear the course of our futures would forever be ours to decide. Perhaps once we're older and more responsible.
By her grace.
The Weavers of Destiny have sprouted up from the earth once again. And conveniently, right after we quelled the Titans' uprising without them having to intervene. We never could depend on the Fates.
Fates are back, all three of them, Sunshine. Such a relief to feel their prophecies again. They even now foretell the dawning of a new and different age. Plenty of time to prepare. Though let's make the most of it, right?
sisters, did you know? Just when I thought they left the lot of us for good. Don't quite know what to make of their new prophecy, but time eventually will always tell with those.
I draw you down, O Moon. Lend me your light.
Your headmistress informed me that you finally located the three fates. Then all is finally set right. Although I feel as before, perhaps they wish to see what shall transpire if we each continue plotting out the course of our own lives. Please make your choice.
You mean your sisters, the Fates? You knew they'd be all right. I never imagined I could even meet them myself. One of them, she reminded me a little bit of you. Well, it was only a first impression. Lady Athena.
I had considered how we would proceed if by some chance the three fates were never found. What I did not anticipate was that they would be found, yet still take leave of their responsibilities, so I am told.
They've been weaving for eons and perhaps felt weary or even underappreciated. That or they liked what they saw while their weavings were on hold. They did give us a big new prophecy as a sort of parting gift.
A prophecy about another age, that we gods shall relinquish our dominion to mortals. It's difficult to believe, but then these things never unfold precisely as they sound.
No, and for that matter, I couldn't tell whether the Fates were angry or disappointed or anything like that. On the contrary, they seemed enthusiastic.
They are weavers, whose tapestries reveal the vast and complicated tale of history. Perhaps they seek merely to entertain, and we are but characters they have to work with. The might and fury of Olympus be with you.
That's you.
I knew it. It's done. It's finally done, except I need to hear you say it first, to know for certain what I have foreseen. Now, please.
You may have to be a little more specific, but I take it you mean that I found the Fates. Or they found me, but either way. I thought you didn't care for them too much.
I care for what they say, what they decide to make of this world of ours. What has their exile driven them to do? They would not make the same mistakes again.
They've had it with our squabbling, that I can understand. So they have deemed the coming of another age in which the gods apparently shall hold less sway. A time of fewer burdens on us, so our tempers can subside.
The coming of a golden age. Perhaps not quite the one my master had envisioned, but nevertheless, all this toil at long last. Until then, I suppose we fight.
The fates have been discovered after all, and they intend to take a break from all their traditional manipulations. I do not entirely believe it, but war would be so exhilarating were its victors never preordained.
The three fates located at last, our messenger excitedly reports. I trust they shall resume safeguarding our dominion from here on, even if it means having to pull the strings a bit from time to time. A small price to be paid.
Sure.
The three fates are at last returned, and that is well. Thus your assistance with my quandary is complete. But as to whether you discovered them or they decided to return remains unclear. They create far more questions now than I. Do as you shall.
Good news, Grandfather. The three Fates have returned, and they didn't mention any reprisal when it comes to you. On the contrary, they promised a new age would dawn.
Aye, but that is good news. Particularly the no reprisal part. And it is a relief to know the three have navigated out of temporary exile. But what is this about a new age?
Well, It sounds as though they're not planning to weave as much as they used to. And at some point, the gods apparently will hold less sway over mortals' lives.
But that is reminiscent of the Golden Age in which I ruled. Of course, once you've lived sufficient eons, you begin to see such patterns circulating constantly. That which is old becomes the new. How fares our family with all this?
I think we're all having to give it some consideration, though we'll have plenty of time. The sage may not be soon.
Perhaps not, but even still, this age may arrive before you know it. Take it from me.
Time can move swiftly. Stick to the seas next time.
A new age is to dawn soon enough, is that it? That much the Three Fates can guarantee, but otherwise we can do as we please. Well, fine. If mortals think they can get on without our intervention, I should like to see them try.
Family.
It's you.
We heard of the return of the Three Fates. How much you had to do with it shall be for you to know. But tell us, were they in good spirits at the least?
They seemed to be. Clotho, who spoke the most by far, she seemed in quite a cheery mood now that you mention it. So much so that I have trouble imagining her otherwise.
Then we are fortunate, perhaps, for they can be a temperamental bunch. Their moods may not solely dictate the nature of their weavings, but certainly must correlate.
We were told they would cease their weavings for a while. You don't believe it, do you, though, Hades?
No, absolutely not. Although I welcome each of you to draw whichever conclusions you see fit. Be well.
See you again.
Oh, the Three Fates finally decided to make an appearance, just as we were getting used to not having them around. What grand prophecy do they have in store for us now, Whatever it is, we'll handle it, I'm sure.
All right.
Yeah. Mightily impressive.
The Titan Prometheus seems rather pleased of late. Why do you suppose that is?
How should I know, and why should it matter, seeing as we don't discuss him here, or anywhere?
Then let's discuss you. Have you gotten what you sought? With the Fates declaring that an age of mortals is to come.
I'm a mere half-god, as you may recall. I never get what I want. But when finally comes a time for change, I'll welcome it. May that next age no longer need for gods or men like me. Let's do this again.
New age is in store then. Take it you heard all about that firsthand, Em. Guess it'll be here before we know it, as things like that tend to go. We'll be ready, and even if not, we'll act fast.
We, the Olympians, appointed by the Fates themselves to rule this world, are prophesized to just back off a bit? Take more of a light touch? Then so we shall. No questioning those three. Although I doubt mortals shall like the change.
Is over, I am liable to keep on wandering about, I think. See how the mortals of the world are faring. Can't do that as easily from on high. Olympus can be nice to visit, but I never wanted to live here myself.
Give up a boon.
Agent of change.
So you truly saw all this coming? The Three Fates and their prophecy of a new age? Why have you fought so hard to stop me then? What if you had prevailed?
I knew my efforts to prevent you all would be for naught, but I was compelled to make those efforts anyhow. To put it simply, I could see no other way.
We might have fought on the same side. Surely that would have sooner led to your result than sending Itos after me.
A reasonable theory, but it never would have gone the way you expect. This was never about mortal kind for you.
You're right, it wasn't. I had my own problems to contend with before attempting to rid mortal kind of theirs.
Yet now you have done both. Fear not. The dead may worship you, but the living couldn't care less. Though still we did what needed to be done.
Hephaestus.
Everybody here is going off about the Fates deciding to show up unceremonious, to which I say, so what? Nobody knows what they're doing, them least of all. Ah, mayhap I'm just jealous they'll be taking time off work.
The Smith. Enough of this.
The Fates supposedly are no longer deciding what will happen from here out, except big stuff like new ages and such. Don't know how we're supposed to tell the difference, whether everything is planned by them or ours to decide.
Off I go.
Age of mortals is to come. Not if I open up a few more rifts, it won't. Ah, the earth itself can swallow all of those ungrateful little louts if the seas don't do it first.
They'll drown.
A word. My daughters have returned to us. Knowing them, they gave you the impression that they did so on their own. However, if not for your efforts with the fated list, they might have never found their way.
Each prophecy fulfilled, a signal to the Fates. A beacon in the darkness of their exile, something of the sort.
That is a reasonable way to think of it. You have done my family a great service, O Millenoi, Princess. The depth of my gratitude is beyond my means to describe.
You honor me, O Knight. May all of us cease losing family members for a while.
May that be so.
I am quite interested in control. Once I alone possessed it until the Fates took some of it from me. Then they were gone after the Titan Kronos had returned. Now they are back. Whose choices have been made? Everyone's. No one's.
Don't know what's such a big deal with the three Fates going on about a distant time. You're telling me that in the span of, I don't know, 20-something mortal generations, things might change? Ah, you don't say.
He wants a sacrifice.
Wait, have I not already told this one before? You'll tell me if I did. Hey. Been hearing wild tales from outside. Can you back any of it up, baby? Something about the dawning of another age?
A recent prophecy from the three Fates. They have foreseen a distant time when mortals won't be as beholden to the gods. Perhaps that shall be cause for a real feast.
You're thinking maybe all the other gods will end up feasting here. They will have better things to do than pushing mortal kind around, and it'll be a prophecy fulfilled. Cheers.
Everybody on the mountain's going on about the Fates finally turning up. Father wouldn't even be in charge if not for them, so he must not have liked the thought that they were gone.
But now the Fates have said the influence of gods shall wane to an extent. I can't imagine Lord Uncle Zeus and the rest are too pleased about that.
No, but as major prophecies are concerned, it's really not that bad. And besides, it sounds like this new age of theirs might not be for a while, so we'll worry about it then. Smart. See you.